Hi guys, don't FOMO in on this latest drop. I'm going to explain why in the charts. The impulse here is to buy everything you are seeing after a 25% drop. Now there may be an idea there for longer term investors and I completely get that. But if you are buying here, you are buying directly back into resistance after the drop has already happened. We need to be very patient here. And if you watched my video release last week to the VIPs, graduates, and masterminds, I outlined a very simple strategy on how I was approaching this month ahead. Bitcoin fell into that first zone of control. So the 50-day moving average here, this is the level we just don't want to lose. If that holds, then we can get kind of excited again. But until we start to see the 10 EMA retaken or this range above be seen again at about that 117, 1800 area, right now, we could just be making a lower high here before we go down even lower. So just be really careful moving into the market. Now, I wanted to have a quick look at Ethereum because it is one of the better looking charts out there in the market. But again, very, very similar to Bitcoin in the respect that it has lost a key level and the 10 EMA. She's fallen down to that respectable 3300 area. I still have eyes on a little bit lower, and she will get there if we get rejected just above at the 10 EMA and the 20 SMA above. Again, both these major cryptos look really good, but they have work to do, and they look good on the longer term sense. But in the short term, how can we just hold back that FOMO and not throw everything we have at the market and be a bit more sensible about how we plan our entries? Well, it's being patient and waiting for those overhead levels to either be taken out or we wait for those lower entry points to come to us and then we move into the market. Rightio, XRP, if you read my newsletter from a few weeks back, you'd see I put a few cryptos in there which I thought were going to be some really good runners for this cycle. Now XRP, love it or hate it, it's not my favorite crypto, but technically it looks bloody good here. And this blue box, which I've had drawn out for a little while, that was my area for potential reaccumulation because we've got this all-time high movement up here. You can just see in that circle there, couldn't stay above this horizontal for very long. We reclaimed it, used it as support, broke down through it, and now we're trying to climb back above it. If we can flip that, and if we just zoom in a little bit more here, if we can break out of this wedge, flip that 10 EMA and maybe even the 20 there, this area will become support again, and then we can start to look higher, and then this potential move could be on the cards. We'll see. XRP has a really big market cap, but I think as a short-term trade, this looks really promising. It's got a very clean wedge developing here, and it is one of the strongest majors of the altcoins out of this move by Bitcoin and Ethereum that just fell over the last 48 hours. If you're getting chopped up all the time, buying and selling and losing money, buying the top, selling the low, you might just want to step back and go, all right, what's my bigger game plan here? What's the strategy? Why are all these risk assets moving higher, particularly Bitcoin, specifically Bitcoin, because of the debasement of money printing rather, is global M2, global liquidity, and it's all tightly linked. Now, this is a great indicator. My good friend Decode, he does a global liquidity index, and on his chart here, this is from a few weeks ago, but directionally, this is telling us that Bitcoin, if it's still tightly correlated to M2 and global liquidity, is moving higher towards that $200,000. Might not get there, but this is telling us to just keep our focus directionally biased higher, at least until we see some other signals begin to fire. If anyone's telling you, we're falling into a bear market or that was the high, right now it does not look like that in the slightest. So sometimes you just need to follow a very simple strategy, let things sit, be patient, and wait for the good things to come.